Yeah, you gotta do it.
Now, we definitely want to leave up enough for a man.
Oh, Doctor, we are saved by the bell. Edgar Flores and Laurence Swasey.
Huh? Yeah, you can tag in the sector or whatever. You can eat, or eat, sorry. Joey's gonna keep eating.
Edgar Flores, the
I would like to
recent
tell
champion
here we are.
of Star City Games Los Angeles with Cobblade. He did say to me that he has changed his list around. Now, looking at the list, I see he does not have Into the Royal. But what he does have, oh my goodness, 3 Oust, 3 Condemn main. Edgar opens up with Celestial Colonnade. His opponent, Laurence Swasey, goes Forest Birds of Paradise. Laurence is basically looks like playing green-blue. 4 Jace, 4 Fauna Shaman, etc. Turn 2, Edgar Flores lays a second land. You got Terramorphic Expanse, a Nest Invader. Laurence Swasey's deck, amongst the many incredible cards, it runs 1 Consecrated Sphinx, which seems pretty incredible. Behind Edgar Flores, you can see Rashad's biggest fan, or smallest fan, as the case may be. Oust takes care of the Nest Invader.
Sure, the birds that didn't get taken care of?
Maybe it was. There is no Nest Invader in play, so.
There's no birds either.
Is that a mana leak for the Nest Invader? The screen
I think
was
it
off.
was something, yeah.
Maybe a mana leak for the Nest Invader and an Oust for the birds. That's probably most likely what it would be.
I thought I saw him slide the birds into the deck, but we cut away a little fast there.
Yeah, yeah. The camera cut action, taking away clarity, but providing excitement.
Yeah, that's what happened there. Attacking mana, which has just become one of the many focuses of the Type 2 format.
Laurence now with a Lotus Cobra in hand. Draws it, lays it.
Probably resolving.
Puts a land into play. Pass, pass. Another land.
Got a mana.
3 mana. 4 mana, actually.
Vengevine.
Vengevine. Now, this deck that he's playing, it is basically a mono-green deck with 4 Jaces, 2 Frost Titans, and a Consecrated Sphinx.
We have a mana leak on that Vengevine. Does he have another 2-drop? Another 2-drop would let him get in. Oh,
no other creature. That was a risky play, but I mean, oh, Jace? Jace and Brainstorms.
Edgar's all-foil deck. Quite shiny under the camera's lights. Let's see what Laurence is going to do here. Fetch land first.
Land gives him access to so much mana right now. Sword. Sword of Feast and Famine.
I don't think Edgar thought about sword here. That is definitely a nice card.
Equips, attacks, kills Jace. No untap, no discard. Just kills the Jace. Just. Some little air quotes around that.
Perfectly adequate. I've actually been thinking for a while that there are a lot of decks that could use sword that aren't Stoneforge based, that the card is just reasonable in. This is not what I had in mind, but...
Plays a 5th mana. Maybe a Murdering Gideon here. Now the thing that's really interesting is with this blue mana that Laurence has, he does not have counterspells.
No.
But he can pretend that he has counterspells.
He can represent mana leak convincingly, especially with Lotus Cobra and conserving fetches.
Jace bounce. And that does mean the Vengevine in the yard is all the easier to get going. Starts out with a
I think
Lotus
we're about
Cobra.
to see Cobra into Vengevine if I saw his draw
Cobra,
step
Vengevine,
right.
Vengevine is what's going to happen, I think. Cobra, it looks good to me. Crack it. Cast a Vengevine. Oh, trigger. Tapped out with 10 power on the board.
10 power, yeah.
8 to the head. And
4 to the head.
Or 4 to the head, and he's going both of them. He's going both of them on the chase, I
really?
think. Playing around
Condemn. Okay.
I mean, really, it's he's still got 2 swings after this, either way.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you had Condemn, you probably wouldn't have Jace bounced a Cobra right there, but...
Spell Pierce, I think I saw another Jace. Stoneforge Mystic, not bad right now.
He does still have 2 Vengevines, right? Did I miss something?
Well, one of the Vengevines has been condemned.
It was condemned?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was just
Mortar
checking. Happened very quickly. Very shiny.
Cast Mortar Pod activates it immediately, killing that Lotus Cobra.
Damage is kind of done on that one, though. Watching Edgar's deck always bugs me. Not very good at spotting the foil cards. Let's see, we've got Colonnade, Coast, Fortress, Edge, and Basic.
Is that a Acidic Slime? Mana. Attack. Take it.
Our 2 artists up here in front. We also have a couple of great altars in the back by Troll and Toad. Lindsay is doing 3D cards and tokens.
Larry's on 2 cards, yep.
Very nice altars. So if you're interested in any of those, check in with them right back by the Troll and Toad booth and between the HL.
3 mana, sword equip.
All natural sword. It's a strong hit card here. If you play it, makes it, but he may just hold back.
No, I think he's gonna attack.
He's thinking about it, clearly. If he holds back, he can defend from a sword equip from either of his opponent's creatures. What's his last card? That's pretty important. Yeah.
Depends on what that last card is. Down goes a land from Laurence Swasey's hand. Edgar equips after combat with Mortar Pod. Prepared to lose that last card in his hand, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Here comes a total of 8. The last card was...
I think it's a Spell Pierce. Well, in that case, I think I agree with that attack. Protecting a Spell Pierce in this matchup is clearly not very relevant.
Think we're going to see a Jace? Nope. 4 mana, 5 mana is a little more than that.
Another
Acidic Slime. Ouch.
That's probably all they wrote for Edgar. He's going to need some nice peels to get out of this one.
Jace Bellerin.
That's probably not going to do it.
Says go. Blocks the Sword of Feast and Famine, pokes Laurence for 1.
Yep. And
takes 6
the damage.
Is that 6?
Yep. He was at 14 and fell to 4 and then 4.
And it looks like he hard cast another Vengevine.
6.
Edgar does not have any Day of Judgments in his list at this point.
Yeah. I can't actually see the board anymore. A little far over.
I see an Oust now, and a
Rashad,
land.
can you ask the spotter to move, keep the cards inside the blue? Another Jace Bellerin is not helpful.
It's like, let's...
Garuk! Oh!
Let's go to the next. Doing some math.
Yep.
Scoops it up.
Dead.
Now, noting, Edgar does not have Gideon in the main. He's got it in the sideboard.
Yeah, he proudly cut his Gideons, actually. Yeah. That was one of his pieces of tech for this tournament. To try and just speed the deck up and make it a lot less important that he get to 5 mana, which in turn makes Tectonic Edge a lot less important against him.
I mean, looking at Edgar's list, 3 Oust, 3 Condemn, 2 Swords, No ink moth. That's actually very interesting.
That was something I asked him. He said he didn't like ink moth just because of the colorless mana. He's really itchy about adding colorless lands to the deck. I feel like in cutting Gideon, you've got more room to play some of those utility lands.
Right.
But he didn't want to.
I think what we can expect to see here from Edgar is 3 flash freeze. Probably, given the way that deck looked, Day of Judgment, and also almost certainly Condemn and Oust for 8-point elim coming in. Or not 8-point elim, pardon me. 2-point elim and then 3 sweep. That's 8 cards for probably 4 Mana Leak, 4 Spell Pierce. I don't think either of those cards do any work for him.
Spell Pierce is definitely pretty poor. I feel like, I don't know, if he expects his opponent to be a Jace deck, then boarding out his Mana Leaks for flash freezes could be a little dangerous, when I feel like they're going to serve really similar roles. He might just hedge on one way or the other there.
One of the things
they're pretty close to the same card, but with some minor upsides.
Edgar does have 6 Jaces of his own to fight against opponent Jaces.
Well, that's one of the reasons I might want to make sure my opponent never sticks one. Like if they're running Acceleration, he saw his opponent's running green birds and stuff like that. He doesn't really know what's going on.
His opponent, that's a very interesting deck, has access for this matchup. Nature's Claim is something I would be unsurprised to see come in as a potential answer to Swords. Tumble Magnets potentially. And he has access to Mana Leak in the board.
Yeah. It's interesting. He's got a lot of ways to beat the Sword. Between the Slimes, the Nature's Claims, and the Magnets, like, even Into the Royal is occasionally a solution.
This deck looks really exciting. I like the look of it.
Could bring in those Obstinate Bailiffs also against the Sword, technically. Not that I advise such chicanery, but it's not the most unreasonable proposition I've ever heard.
Now, Edgar is currently undefeated. Both these players are.
Yes.
And we are in the middle of round 6. Edgar showed up with 2 buys today, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
And his opponent, Laurence Swasey, I don't know that he had any buys.
No, he did not. Laurence is, however, a member of our Players Club. I believe he's level... I want to say he's level 3. I know I've seen him at a few events. He has top 8s. Nope, not level 3. You can search him at the top there. Oh, use the deck database to see what he's played in the past. Search Swasey, just his last name. I know we have him in the database as Larry Swasey in some instances.
Okay.
You didn't change. Yeah, you only searched the past 4 months. Alright. We're going to see what we can find out about one Larry Swasey. We're going to find out a lot. Dating back to 2003.
Okay. So Laurence did get 2nd place at the last Boston Star City Games Standard Open.
Oh, how intriguing.
Playing Blue-Green Vengevine.
History apparently may be repeating itself.
And it is the same list.
Is it? It's really close.
The same list. The differences?
Sword.
he added in Sword of Feast and Famine. He took out Avenger of Zendikar and Clone.
And Frost Titan. He had 4 Frost
Titans. Yeah, he took his Frost Titans down to 2. So if you go to the deck database, you can see the old version of Laurence Swasey's deck.
That's really funny. It's very, very similar. Even the 3 assists sign, that's the number that strikes me as the most...
And it looks like he also got top 32 at the Star City Games Invitational, playing the same list.
Yes.
So he is no stranger to his list here. Looking at the in-play, we have Edgar starting off with turn 2 Cawblade, turn 2 with Squadron Hawk, and Laurence Swasey using a Terramorphic Expanse to get a forest at the end of Edgar's turn.
Terramorphic Expanse adding some fetches to his deck for Lotus Cobra while fixing.
I like the look of this deck. It looks cool.
It's neat. It can really hit you hard, too.
One Consecrated Sphinx seems awesome. I've been playing a lot of block, and Consecrated Sphinx is the Jace of block.
I had friends testing that card for Nationals qualifiers, thinking it might be a solution against Cawblade. Didn't work out, but...
Fauna Shaman, dangerous card to see.
Very troubling card for most Cawblade lists.
Now Edgar almost certainly brought in his extra oust since he saw Lotus Cobra. Attack for 1. If he did, that would mean he has access to 4 oust, 4 condemn. Oust? Oust.
Please report to Doug Rock. He's waving his hand in the middle of the floor.
Another colonnade and a pass.
Lotus Cobra. With a fetch land, he'd be able to get a total of 3 mana.
Not much in his deck costs 3 on the sword, though. Could play another 2-drop, I suppose. Terramorphic, that's
mana.
exactly what he'll do. He's thinking about it.
Yep.
Shuffling away his Fauna Shaman.
I like the look of this deck. This deck looks awesome.
Got an island. Haven't seen his 2-drop yet, no.
Double Cobra.
Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He could make 8 mana next turn.
That's going to weigh on Edgar's mind.
Preordain, looking for something.
Draws, passes. He played Tectonic Edge, which does not appear very good in this matchup.
Laurence looking for fetch land.
He
There it is. He's access to 8 if he wants it. There's 3. There's 4. Jace. Jace.
Whew.
Brainstorm. Now again, one of the real powers of a Planeswalker for an aggressive deck is demanding that your opponent attack it when they really want to be defending against your creatures.
Yep. Grants you a lot of longevity.
A little bit more mana yet, shuffling away the brainstormed cards from Jace.
Yeah.
Fauna Shaman as a follow-up.
Fauna Shaman the second.
This one gets Flash Freeze.
Flash Freeze.
Flash Frozen?
Flash Frozen.
Yeah.
Now again, Larry is able to actually represent Mana Leak.
He might actually even have the Mana Leak now.
Yeah.
The little Kaha barely plugs away. A Wrath of God, Day of Judgment would be, I think, of some value just to chop down the Lotus Cobras, but then you don't have a way to kill the Jace. Like, there's a conundrum here.
He doesn't really have a way to kill the Jace now.
Another Squadron Hawk
Yep.
threatens to make sure that the Jace will die next turn, maybe, if things don't go terribly awry. And Mortar Pod. There we go. Immediately killing one of those Lotus Cobras. Edgar doing the same thing he did last time, just immediately killing a Cobra. No disrespect. Laurence has access to 6 mana should he draw a fetch land. And apparently it's Laurence Swasey. Looks at his own hand, or at his own library. And there is said fetch. 4 mana for Garrick, 5 mana for Slime.
Icky. This one's going downhill fast. He Fate Sealed to protect his Jace, but Edgar can actually clear it out. With if he goes land Mortar Pod, it'll tap him out and it'll be ugly, but it'll work. And he's adding a Nest Invader to the board. He's flooding the field with a lot of creatures here.
Now, one of the things we're seeing here that's really problematic, obviously, for Edgar, is that he's just being outmanned, you know, and Edgar is running 25 land.
Missed a land drop right there, in fact.
A little bit less mana than many of these decks are running, partly because he plans on being able to support it by having such a radically lower curve than most of the decks that are like this. I would not be surprised to see Laurence in the top 8, the way that this deck looks like it plays.
It's definitely a strong Vengevine deck. And I'm not sure how it's... Maybe the swords are giving it the edge it needs against Valakut? I don't know. I don't really see anything in the sideboard beyond Flash Freezes that are especially impressive against that matchup, which is the typical Vengevine weakness.
He does have 4 Flash Freeze, though.
Yeah.
I mean, between Flash Freeze and his ability to be a Lotus Cobra deck, it might be sufficient.
If he can turn 3 in Acidic Slime consistently, that's good. Generally, if it's past turn 3, I've noticed the card doesn't have enough impact against Valakut.
Crashes in with a bunch
Flash
of creatures.
After Vengevine was condemned and a Fauna Shaman was Flash Frozen during this combat.
Kills the Jace
finally died.
Finally. (23 to 14).
And that's it.
Says go.
Still no land.
Sword.
Ooh.
Which he says...
I think, does Edgar have a Divine Offering there?
I don't know.
Does he have it in his deck?
He has access to Divine
I believe he is boarded
Offering.
in Divine Offering. I think that's what that card is.
And equip to some small token. There it is. Attack with some guys.
No, but
nope, that's a condemn.
Yeah,
Putting a token on the bottom of the library.
6/6 go to
Edgar needs some land here to be at all potent in this game.
He has a lot of things.
There's a Gideon. He did board into Gideons.
Oh,
He became more traditional,
surprising.
basically.
Yeah.
It looks like he board into a more traditional build.
Unfortunately, that's the deck that Larry showed up hoping to play against, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, he's still a more traditional build that is packing 4 oust, 4 condemn, but...
Doing some math, trying to figure a way out. That sword's going to be a big problem pretty soon. It's passing the turn.
Holding back some defense.
Interesting. He's so constrained here, he's not even able to equip his Mortar Pod, which kind of represents all of his hand there. Got Joey back in the booth while Adrian takes a food break.
I'm back. This deck, from the glances I was taking, looks really interesting. What does he get a 26 life from?
Condemn.
Okay. I didn't know if he was playing something that had like.
No, he's been
Life gain.
his Vengevine and a sorted Eldrazi spawn were both condemned.
Wow. I bet Edgar didn't expect to face anything like this.
Another condemn? Yeah.
Wow. Is that Mortar Pod at the bottom right there?
Yes. This one appears pretty close to over for Edgar, though.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's in very good shape right now.
If he has a day in his hand, then like land day is sort of viable.
He has, because he has Gideon, but he's only got 3 lands.
He doesn't even have the second white source,
Yeah,
so it has to
exactly.
be a very specific land.
Yeah. Was that a mana leak? No, it was not.
Another Tectonic Edge, and another Hawk. And his one Scalding turn.
This is just, it's pretty crazy. Like, I love seeing people bring these kind of decks to events and do well with them. Are both of these guys undefeated right now?
Yes, they are right now. Discarded a Tectonic Edge?
Yeah, that's kind of odd. I thought he wanted some lands. I mean, I know it's colorless.
He doesn't need more than 2
Yeah,
colorless lands
I
in
guess
play.
he only had,
cast.
yeah, there we go. There's a Gideon.
Bonk.
That will help. At
That was
2
a smart
life.
hold for Edgar on that Tectonic Edge. Can Gideon do it? Maybe not.
Yeah, unless Edgar can take care of that Fauna Shaman.
He's definitely got some. He's got options.
Yeah.
He does have a Celestial Colonnade in addition to the Gideon to actually, suddenly threaten Larry. One of the strengths of Callblade is his ability to just spin on you. Not spinning right now.
Yeah, plus 2 easier.
Pass turn, take another draw step, hope to hit something.
He doesn't have the mana to activate Colonnade.
Not
though.
yet. No. If he'd found another land there, he might have been able to start doing something.
Players, competitive draft number 1. Please report to Judge Rob. Raise hand in the air. Judge Rob is starting competitive draft number 1.
I'm guessing Laurence doesn't have a creature in hand, or else I think he'd be pretty quick to activate that Shaman to do something. Well, I don't know. Maybe
Not
it's
really. He
yeah.
can't kill the Gideon with anything except, he could go for a Vengevine. I think he has just enough mana. Yeah, he has enough mana to get a Vengevine, equip it, and attack the Gideon with that.
Right.
So he doesn't have Oracle mana.
Okay, so that is.
So I think that's the play he's going to make, probably. Consecrated Sphinx.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Whoa, Nelly. That's also a viable 6-mana play. Consecrated Sphinx would be quite bold here.
Yeah, he's doing your plan here.
Yeah. I think I like going for the Vengevine. The Consecrated Sphinx is much worse against the potential counterspell.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Vengevine is much better. Yeah, it is real fun.
I wanted to see the Consecrated Sphinx in play.
And we'll play our fetch land, and then our Vengevine. Edgar with the mana leak, yep.
So
He's going to pay.
And Brian.
And he's not going to have enough to equip his sword, but he will be able to get a hit on Gideon.
I think that's pretty much what Edgar's figuring, at least to keep him off the equipment.
Gideon lives one more turn.
So Edgar's already spent 3 condemns, right? He's got
Yes,
three
he has
main
burned
and he's got
3.
1 in the sideboard, so... Has he ousted yet?
No, he's not ousted. I don't believe it.
So that would mean he's probably got 4.
Or no, he did oust once, sorry.
Okay.
He ousted a Fauna Shaman.
And he may still have 3 available,
third turn.
assuming he would bring in Oust for something like this. About the
Probably,
perfect place for
yeah.
Oust with Fauna Shamans and Vengevines. Something's dripping.
He actually...
Yeah, I just got dripped on.
I don't see it. Oh, right.
Yeah, that my shirt just got dripped on. So I'm like,
We have a leak. Oh, no.
yeah. Not a mana leak. No.
Yeah, a water leak.
Yeah.
Fauna Shaman. Hooking up the Consecrated Sphinx this time around. We're done messing around? Yeah, we're done messing around. Edgar's like, yep, that seems about right. Par for the course.
that card could be good. So there goes goes Gideon.
The first Pelletier, please up for the main event stage. First Pelletier, come see Judge Rob, who wraps up the start.
Refill.
Runs that main.
Runs the one, yep. One in the bullet, one in the main. Big bullet.
It just seems good in general, but it also seems really good against blue decks that are playing like Jace and things.
Yes. Drew a Sun Titan, but that is not enough.
Yeah, he's kind of like not enough. Wow.
Larry's 2 cards. Jace Lotus Cobra. Fine 2 to close that one out.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wish I would have caught more of that, just besides like the last 5 minutes or so. But.
Chattering about the game.
Yeah.
Not this, but